Why is the INFJ so hard for other people to understand? Is it us? Is it them? Why is there such a huge difference between how the INFJ works and how other people work? Tune into the video to find out exactly what's going on here and why it's so hard for other people to understand the INFJ. Hi everyone, today I'm talking about why it's so hard for other people to understand the INFJ. This is something that so many INFJ personality types deal with in everyday life, and it really is a struggle because most of us have this feeling of being misunderstood. Or people think that they know us, but they have it all wrong, or they don't actually know us at all. And when we try to explain ourselves, it oftentimes makes things worse. If you're an INFJ, you definitely know this experience where you're trying to explain something about yourself or something about the way you see the world, and you get these blank looks and these totally puzzled stares that make you feel exposed and very self-conscious. When we get that kind of reaction from people, we tend to feel weird. We feel out of place, and we can really take a hit to our self-esteem. Usually we've experienced this a lot of times in life, so every time it happens again, it's like another layer coating those old experiences. Here it is again. You're weird. No one gets you. You're out of place. And because we feel so different, we feel like no one will ever understand us. So the reason that it's hard for most people to understand INFJs and INFPs, I will say this also holds true for INFP personality types, it's because INFJ and INFP personality types have a different value system than the majority of the population. We have a different orientation toward life, and this orientation is the root cause of why so many people cannot understand us, and also why we can't understand so many other people so much of the time. Most of the population, especially in American culture, is achievement-oriented. So people who are achievement-oriented are mostly focused on themselves and their own lives. Their bubble is relatively small. They're concerned with personal goals, personal achievements. They value things like status and reward and accomplishment. They're very fulfilled by external rewards. So getting the promotion at work or being recognized by external authorities. They're very connected with society's idea of success, and they tend to measure their personal self-worth by the way society sees them. So they're very focused on winning. Winning is big when you have an achievement-oriented mindset. And when you have an achievement-oriented mindset, you also value competitiveness. You like competition, you might even thrive on competition. And aggressiveness, aggression, it's also valued as a good personality trait. So competitiveness and aggression are valued as good traits. Now, INFJs and INFPs are not usually achievement-oriented people. We can be sometimes for short periods of time. We can set goals and we can be very good at meeting goals. However, the root cause, the deeper meaning behind why we are going toward that goal is not usually just to win the award or just to beat someone else or just to win the game. We have a deeper thing driving us, a deeper motivation. So the values and goals of those who are valuing competitiveness and aggression and winning just for winning's sake, just to be the better person or, the better person in the competition, that doesn't mean very much to us. It doesn't mean anything, actually, and it doesn't make sense to us. So the truth is, a lot of the time we find other people just as baffling as they find us. When we really start to examine the values of society, it's very puzzling to INFJ personality types and INFP personality types. We usually have a better idea of other people's psychological motivations. We can sort of look at their personality profile and we understand why they're doing the things that they're doing. We just don't understand why they would want to be doing things that way. Instead of being achievement-oriented, INFJs and INFPs are relationship-oriented. This is a very different orientation. When you're relationship-oriented, you are focused on relationships. You're focused on connection with other people and connection with animals, connection with plants, connection with the planet, the environment. You are focused on seeing reality as an interconnected whole, how everything is working together, everything is interdependent. You value intimacy, you value honesty, authenticity. People who are relationship-oriented feel rewarded by internal accomplishments like personal growth and evolution, not external accomplishments. We value personality traits like compassion and empathy, not aggression and competitiveness. Now, neither one of these orientations is bad or wrong. And I know you INFJs and INFPs who are watching this are like, well, maybe the achievement-oriented mindset isn't bad or wrong, but relationship-oriented is definitely better. Neither one is bad or wrong. Both can fall out of imbalance, both can get out of control, and both can turn into something that's not helpful, but both can also be used for the greater good. And they just really are very different orientations. They're very different mindsets. And many people do start out achievement-oriented early in life and then grow into being more relationship-oriented later in life. So you can't really judge someone for all time based on how they are now, right? So you might have a coworker who's very achievement-oriented and judge them and say, well, they're shallow. You know, they really value competition and getting ahead, and that's all they care about. They might be displaying some shallow behavior now. It doesn't mean that they're going to be shallow for their entire life. Everybody has the capacity for growth and change. However, in your current life, if you are an INFJ or an INFP personality type, it is best for you to seek out people and communities who are also relationship oriented because they will match your values. So spiritual groups, learning or study groups, groups with other intuitives, any sort of scholarly group, spiritual group focused on personal improvement, personal development, growth and evolution will attract a lot of intuitive types who are relationship oriented. And we need these types of communities to feel understood and to feel at home with others who share our same values and our same traits. When you know more people like you and you're part of a community that truly fits you authentically, it really helps with dealing with the other people in society. And I found this through personal experience. I worked for years in office jobs, and most of the time when we had group meetings, I was very angry. I felt like I was not on the same page with any of my coworkers. We were not on the same wavelength. I didn't want to have a conversation with them. I was judging them mercilessly inside my own head. And it was because I didn't feel like I had any sort of group outside of that. I didn't have anywhere else I could go for connection. So I was trying to put my needs for connection on people who could not meet those needs because they were so very different than I was. They had completely different values. So once you find communities where you can be your authentic, intuitive self, yourself who values compassion and empathy and feels connected to other people and animals and plants and the planet, you're not going to put so much of your connection need on your family or the other people in society or the people in your office. And you won't be so upset all the time and feeling so alone and like no one gets me, no one understands me, why can't anyone understand me? That will fall away for a great part once you know people who are like you. And you won't resent the differences so much because your needs are being fulfilled elsewhere. And then you can move into observation mode with those who are so very different. Right? So you can be at the office, you can be in the classroom or with your family and friends and really be in a neutral place of just watching them and say, well, that's interesting. They're being very competitive right now. That's interesting. Or, oh, they're being very aggressive with each other. Okay, I don't have to be that way, but that's how they are with each other. I can just watch that, but I'm not depending on that for connection. If this video was helpful to you in any way, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate every single person who subscribes, and please also subscribe to my newsletter. I do send out frequent newsletters, as anyone who's on my newsletter list knows, but I hope it's a bunch of helpful stuff, and I really endeavor and strive to send out many helpful resources as much of the time as I can. Anything that's helpful to INFJ, INFP personality types, empaths, sensitive creatives, writers and artists. If that fits you, then you would be a good fit for my newsletter. So please subscribe. I would love to see you in my audience. And thank you for tuning in so much. Thanks for tuning in today. And please keep a lookout for the next video because I tend to do a lot of videos for INFJs and INFP personality types. All right, everyone, I'll see you next time.